right, now we're live, and we're back from backstage at Rock Island in Key West, and George Lynch just did a whole bit for us during the break, and he thought he was on the air, and he's not. Do you want to repeat from the start, or no?
You can never do it the same again. I mean, it's just like you
Once
got to
you
get
do it
it's like
solo,
capturing
perfect.
the moment.
But you told me something that I had no idea about, because you said you had done my show from the Monsters of Rock cruise, and you had a drink.
That was your cruise, right?
I don't own that. I just
Well, you told me you did.
No, like,
Well,
that's
that's 'cause
Larry
you were
Moran's
drunk.
cruise. No way.
Oh, well, that's not what you told me at the time when you're trying to get me into your room. Yeah, I own this
And
whole
then I
thing.
saw the tattoo on your back, and I knew that
I
had
do
no
not
luck.
enter. Do
Yeah,
not
exactly.
enter. Or the Eddie was here tattoo.
Well, what were you saying? You said you had an issue with the kid, like you wrote something?
Okay, so we did our interview just like we're doing now on the cruise that you told me that you owned, and we're the owner, boss, whatever.
I own the ship, yeah.
The Eddie Trump Monsters of Rock tribute cruise. And then so we're doing the interview, and you're bragging about yourself and everything, dropping all these names, and then you're like, have this drink.
Who are you talking to? It was not my show. You
Do you want me to lie? Do you want me to lie? Would that make you happy?
Yeah, please.
Oh God! I didn't know this was
So what happened?
That's what I like about you. You lie, huh?
What happened?
With what?
This incident that I
when
don't know about.
Oh, when you tried to get me drunk into your cabin?
No,
Yeah.
the kid.
So you're like, try this drink called a Righteous Fish or something. They only had it on that cruise because they use this Caribbean tropical guava passion fruit. And you're trying to fill me up full of passion fruit to get me all passionate.
I have no
so I'm
idea
like,
what he's talking about.
On
so
your
I'm like-
cruise.
So I'm drinking these things, I'm getting a little inebriated, and you're like doing this interview, and then you do some autographs, and there's all these people lined up, and you go, okay, and this little kid comes up, like 12 or 14 or something, with his parents, and he's like, can you sign the back of his shirt? And I wrote, kick me, with an arrow pointed down, and I thought that was funny, and his parents got all mad and threatened to sue you and the cruise company. And then all of a sudden you weren't involved with the cruise. But anyways, they were just looking for a free. They were looking for a free ride. They wanted a free cabin out of it or something.
Did they get it?
They said no because Eddie, not Eddie, the actual real owner. Who's the guy that really
Larry?
Larry, yeah. Eddie, Larry, whatever. And he goes like,
George is making this up. George is writing a song in his head right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Always be writing, ABR. No. So, anyways, the kid, no, they didn't fall for it. They didn't give the parents a free room. The kid was not traumatized. I'd be bragging rights for the rest of his life, having George Lynch write, kick me on the back of your shirt when they were pointed onto your ass. I was going to write, do not enter, but
It's a kid.
in case he ran into a priest or something.
This is why Doug handed you a water this time.
Exactly.
Righteous
That's water
fish.
in that can. Yeah, that's not the fish drink or whatever it is you're just talking about. So anyway, you're a late addition to this thing. You got the call to come on to Rock Island pretty late in the game here because Vince canceled.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of people, what they wanted to see Vince Neil, but he couldn't be here, so here's George Lynch.
That's how I'm going to intro you tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, you wanted the greatest, you wanted the best. They couldn't be here, so here's George.
Well, it's a good thing that you were free and you're here playing with
I'm
Lynch
always
Mob.
available.
You're doing Lynch Mob. What you've already said, Lynch Mob is basically at this point a revolving door, which it's great that you just came out and said that because that's what it's been. Yeah. What is the band you're playing with here today? Who do you have?
I can't even remember their
Did you
names.
just meet them?
So, right. I literally did just meet the drummer today. Actually, I played with him one other time at a private event.
Jordan. I know Jordan.
He's fantastic. Great. I played with him in Blandini or something. No, I actually got to jam with Billy Gibbons, and he was the drummer in that, and we did some rehearsals and stuff. And he's a sweet kid, and he's a monster and very capable. And we just had a rehearsal, as you saw, in our, what would you call that, a trailer?
Yeah, I popped my head in for a quick second. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to invite you to come to this.
We needed an audience, a fake audience.
We wanted to make sure George Lynch was in Lynch Mob.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
they didn't sub you out.
If I could hire somebody and I could just be executive guitar player, I would do it.
Hey, that's happening. You know that every band's doing that. Like, no original guys. And
don't want to drop any names, but I'm privy to a couple of those things where the guy just stays home. The guy that's the guy stays home and gets, gets a check. And I mean, if you can get away with it, I mean, fuck, why not? So I can't imagine that'd be very fun.
No, I mean, so who's the singer? Do you know who your singer is tonight?
Well, that's an interesting story. His actual name is Gabriel Colon.
Okay.
But we call him Gay Colon. Which is fine in Key West, right?
True.
I mean, what? Wow. What's with the homophobia in this trailer, dude?
Nothing. I'm asking you. So how long have you had this singer?
This is a guy tried to get me drunk into his fucking
took
cabin on the
advantage of
Monsters of Cock cruise. Wow.
So how long have you had this singer?
I think it's been about 6 months or 8 months or something.
I'll show you. This is a long run for him.
A year or something. Yeah.
This is a good. This is a good run for 6 months.
We're doing an album. Isn't everybody? But we're doing a Lynch Mob record, and it's music's all written. He's about halfway through with the vocals, and it's coming out great. Did a great job. We have Jordan. Yeah, Jordan on drums is temporary while Jimmy DeAnda takes a break.
So Jimmy's back playing with you again
in March.
Okay.
Yeah, he's coming back in March.
And who's playing bass?
I'm gonna be 1,000% honest and ashamed, and he's probably outside. I could ask him his last name, but
have you ever played with him?
Starts with J.
Have you ever played with him before?
No, hold on. Yeah, no, he's been in the band for a while.
Jaco Pastorius?
He's like that, but less Italian.
Does he have a funny nickname?
No, what is his name? You know, he's in that other band. You know that one guy in that one band.
Well, the one that does the Eddie Trunk Monsters Cruise.
Yeah,
that gets people drunk and whatever George just said.
I'm sorry, I came unprepared.
Lynch Mob, truly a revolving door. The most important thing, let's be honest, about Lynch Mob is George Lynch, at least for now, is still in his own band.
I'm still in the band, and hold on, but he's probably out here.
George is actually going.
He's leaving.
He's going to introduce himself to his bass player that he's playing with. He's literally leaving the trailer right now to look for the. This is.
Is he out there?
Yeah, you got his. Do you have his number?
Doug,
I do have his number. In fact, I just texted him earlier, so I've got it right here.
Yeah, so you can look and see what number you have.
Now, I'm not going to get his.
No, you see what his name is.
Jaron. Because the drummer's Jordan, and Jaron is really confusing because they're all J's and so sound similar. So it's Jaron.
All right.
And who does Jaron play with?
Lynch Mob.
Well, no, the other band.
Now.
This Tantric.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, we know.
No, he's amazing.
We know him. Yeah,
amazing. He's become sort of the foundation of the band, being like he's like the epicenter of everything. He's very hands-on. Not like you are on the boat, but different kind of hands-on.
Very handsy. Right.
I meant more in a musical sense.
Yeah.
Hey, so are you still doing the stuff with Dokken when you get up with Don? You did that here last year, where you did the last 5 songs or whatever.
Yeah,
you still doing that stuff?
Yeah, we do that quite a bit.
How has that been for you? That whole experience doing that?
It's a little surreal, and sitting in the dressing room listening to all my solos and songs I wrote and everything, and I'm like sitting right here. I'm like, this is weird. And a little disconcerting, and it's. But if I don't think, try not to think about it. It's just, hey, life's never perfect. I mean, it's fine. It's fun for me. I go out there. I could do it in my sleep. 3 songs that, it's easy.
Have you ever done it where
Lynch crowd loves it?
Have you ever done it when Lynch Mob is not on the bill as well?
Yeah, I do both.
So there's been times you've gone and done a gig and you only do 3 songs. And
about half the time I do.
Really?
Just go out myself. Yeah.
Is there a reason why you just don't do the whole show?
There is a technical, financial reason why.
Money. Yeah.
It's always money. Everything's money.
That's
So
why
I tell my
say that all
kids,
the time.
everything about anything in life, you want to find out the root source of all what's going on.
I tell
Follow
this
the money.
audience every single day
Follow
when
the
they
money.
ask me questions and stuff, 98% of the time it's going to come back to
For
money.
everybody involved, well, for Dokken, and especially, it probably makes more sense for me to do it this way. But I don't want to get on all the nuts and bolts of the money, but it's just, it's a financial thing.
Are you and Don getting along
Yeah,
well?
everything's fine. He lives in Santa Fe, and we're in Taos half the year, so we're sort of neighbors.
Is there any desire to make a Dokken record with Don? Has there been talk about that at all? No?
There has been, but it's not going to happen.
Not because you don't want to, he doesn't want to, or it doesn't make sense financially?
It's just everything with Dokken is so difficult. When we did that reunion, and it was just painful. It's just like, it shouldn't be this hard, I mean, I'd be willing to do it, but it'd be a hard record to make. I mean, it'd be a lot of expectation. I don't want to do it and not have it be like this swan song thing that really defines you and is a great bookend to go out on, so everybody has to be 100%. You know what I'm saying? So if everybody's not 100%, and Mick's not in the game anymore.
He's totally done, right?
Yeah, he sold his drums, and he's not
Yeah.
a drummer anymore.
Yeah. When you said
you remember everybody's name though, if you did it, that would be good.
As long as it doesn't begin with J.
Pilsen.
Depends how many righteous fishes I've had.
when you said you did that last reunion with Dokken, when you went to Japan and you did the live thing and all that, you just said that was difficult. What made that so difficult?
Everybody was drunk the whole time.
Is that right?
Including me. And from the get-go, from we got up till end of show. It was just what it was in the 80s we were a band. We were over-rehearsed. We practiced. We toured our asses off. And we became this really tight unit. And when we reformed, it wasn't practical to have that sort of preparation. You know what I mean? So we rehearsed for a few days, and it really wasn't. It's no way you can go 40 years later and be that. Get all that back, all of it. So we started, really pulling it together. After a show or two, but and there was nothing wrong with it. It was fine, but it wasn't that thing that we had back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
And you couldn't expect that.
Yeah, totally. Now you've done a lot of bands and still do.
I played amazing, by the way.
I'm sure.
The other
Yes,
guys, not so much.
There was a new band, I'm sure you're aware of this, maybe you're not, but there was a new band announced today that is releasing a record that you're in.
Oh, yeah.
Joel, what's the name of it again? Or George, tell me.
I know it.
Well, I'm questioning.
Well,
whether
I
it's-
forgot the name.
I forgot. I should go to his phone.
Yeah.
What is it called,
Does it
George?
begin with J?
And what is it called?
It's called Righteous Fish. Hello.
That's a good name.
Yeah, it is a good. Actually, let me write that down. It's called The Banishment.
The Banishment. What's the story of The Banishment? This is the first we're hearing about it.
You won't like it.
Is it like Lynch Biscuit?
It's not gay. That's why you won't like
It's
it.
not. Is it like Lynch Biscuit?
Well, no, it isn't like that. It's actually industrial-esque.
Lynch
I would say.
inch nails.
Lynch.
Lynch Inch Nails. It is. George likes that. Is it?
That's great.
Is
That
it more
great.
industrial?
I like
It's an Richard Patrick's part of it.
Richard Patrick's part of it. Tommy Victor from Prong. We got some guys from. I can't remember all the names of the bands again. God, it's this old guy thing. I'm forgetting. Lords of Acid.
How long does the history of this band go back? Like, how did this come together? Was it around for a long time?
At least 10 years. So is the brainchild of me and Hayes. Hayes is my partner, Joe Hayes. He's a programmer, industrial kind of remixer and engineer, and plays guitar and multi-instrumentalist and everything. Mostly an engineer and mixer. That's his strong point. From that world, I worked with 9 Inch Nails and Prodigy and all these great bands and lesser-known bands. And anyways, Hayes and I connected and with this idea of doing this record. So 10 years ago, we got into my studio for a month and we just, locked the doors and went fucking nuts, and we wrote this epic thing. And we thought, and then we spent the next 10 years trying to finish it. So we went through many, many singers. Mandy Lyon was the singer for a while. Tommy Victor was the singer in it twice. Got in it, left, got in it, left. He had commitments and we were running too slow. And then it was just, we've had other people, which I can't even remember their names. There's been a lot of people involved in it. And we've kept working on the record. So now we have Devik Zell. There's been all these kind of strange underground bands, and he's in this like dream punk kind of project. Anyway, so he came in. He also directed the video that we just released today. And he's very talented. And so we finished the record and we put it out. It's coming out in March, I believe.
Yeah, I got the date here. It's March 10th, they said.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for you as a guitar player, doing music like that's more industrial, do you get, is there a lot of guitar in it? Like,
there's a lot of guitar. There's
solos?
Probably more guitar in that record than any record I've ever done.
Even it's a lot of solo.
Oh, yeah, tons. It's not really purely industrial. I mean, a real industrial band would listen and go, that's not industrial. It has elements of that, but it has elements of a lot of other things. I mean, there's a song in there that sounds like it could be a Sade song.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
there's just
like mellow,
crazy stuff. There's a thing that sounds sort of priesty, but like, heavier priest, and there's all kinds of stuff. It's got a huge variety. It's very eclectic, but it started out wanting to take an industrial kind of
right
track on this thing, but it ended up being a lot of other things.
Do you envision being able to keep this going and actually do shows with it, or is it just more of a project?
With all the projects, it's very dependent on the success of the project.
Getting offers.
If the videos is really good, and we just put a lot of energy and time and money into this video. It's like amazing. So we're like really proud of it. So we're hoping this is a vehicle to really push the band, to get people to sort of pay attention. And if they do, and my core fans aren't turned off by the fact that it's not Dokken or Lynch Mob, then maybe it'll do okay, and then it'll give us a reason to go out.
Now, other bands, just a couple other, I won't keep you, but there are a couple other bands I want to ask you about, because you've done so much and you're always doing different output. Michael Sweet is playing here today. He was here yesterday. You did the Sweet Lynch stuff. Yeah, Striper's on today. Striper's on tomorrow, but he's here already. He was here yesterday. We're hanging out. Yeah.
Really? He didn't even tell me.
Yeah, he's here.
I've been talking to him and his wife, like texting, and
they're
I didn't
here.
even know he was here.
No, they're here.
I don't think we were supposed to say anything to George.
Oh, he said, "Don't tell George I'm here."
Well, I didn't.
He was out there watching Loverboy with us last night. We were hanging out.
Oh,
he was having some of those old fish drinks
Mike
or whatever you're talking about.
Mike Reno is awesome.
So, are you you want to do more with Michael? More Sweet Lynch?
It's done.
You did another record?
I did the third. It's done. It's in the cans, coming out this year.
Oh wow! All right.
It's great too.
Yeah,
it's the best one so far.
And what about KXM?
Yeah, we're talking about doing a record too. Sometime in the next few months, possibly start working on it.
For those that don't know, KXM is George, Ray Luzier, and Doug Pinnick. And the big thing that people want from KXM is live shows, which has been hard to line up, especially with Ray. With Korn, you're shaking your head no already. Not going to happen?
We're going to keep trying. We had a tour set up some years ago, and Korn came in at the last minute and says, we got to pull Ray, got obligations, press obligations, got a one-off show in New York. Just blew a hole in our whole thing. And they're friends of ours, and everything's cool, but I get it. We can't have, other bands conform to our needs.
Right.
And trying to find a 2-month hole to be able to do anything is impossible.
I saw Ray with Korn last year, Labor Day, at Rocklahoma. We're back in the Korn dressing room area, and he came right at me, and he goes, "We're going to finally do it." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I've carved out a couple weeks. We're going to do like 10 shows, KXM." Mm-hmm. I said, "Really? Oh, it's great, And then, of course, it didn't happen because I guess Korn got a call.
Yep.
So
that's what happens. And you have to plan on these tours. I mean, you got to set everything up, obviously, months and months and months in advance. You got to book the shows with promoters. They book 3 months, 4 months, 5 months in advance. And then you have to get your crew together, and you have to rehearse, and you have to invest all this money in this. And you can't do that if you don't know you can absolutely go out and do it. And if you're threatened with the idea that, somebody could just pull the plug at even at the 11th hour, and you're just sitting there with your dick in your hand, I mean, you can't risk that.
Oh, sorry, I'll put it away. Apologize.
Oh, that was my dick. Sorry. In your hand. Or in Key West.
I knew it felt smaller.
It's cool. Well, that's wait till buy me a beer and get me excited.
And passion fruit.
We get a whole different story, dude. Passion fruit.
Look, Ray's got to stop with these side bands like Korn and
tell Ray to not. Korn's not going anywhere. Make the commitment to KXM. What's he doing over here? George, do you like the fact that at this point, after all these decades of playing, that your career went this way, meaning that you have all these varied bands and different things you can do, different musicians you can sub in and out? Do you like that as a musician, or would you have preferred in the perfect world that there's George Lynch, Dokken, 40-year run, and that's the end of it?
It's almost like I got to pick one or the other.
Yeah, there's some artists that
because there's like an in-between thing.
Hang their hat one place and that's it, and that's what I'm known for, and I'm George Lynch from Dokken.
In an ideal world, it would be nice to have a very, very successful core band. Saying like if Lynch Mob or let's say Dokken was more successful, or Lynch Mob was more successful, or Dokken, Dokken was still original band and we were still doing what we were doing in the 80s. That would be preferable. That would probably be ideal because then you'd have that core thing that you could depend on. But with big bands like that, you take lots of breaks and you have time to do other things.
Yeah.
So that would be perfect.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, I guess, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Anything else coming up you want to plug? Anything else you want to mention?
Dude, I have so many projects. I got 7 records coming out this year.
Are you really?
Yeah, I got an Ultraphonics record.
With Corey Glover,
Corey Glover and Pancho Tomaselli from War. And we're possibly going in and do another Project Infidelica record with Angelo from Fishbone on Cleopatra Records.
Okay.
So that's in the works. But that record hasn't been recorded yet. I'm in the middle of recording a Lynch Mob record. We're almost done with that. That'll be coming out this year. The third End Machine record.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
We're just putting the vocals on that with this new singer.
Robert's not singing on it.
No. We got this guy Girish.
Okay.
Who's freaking insane. Not taking anything away from Robert. Robert's amazing, but this a little different flavor. This guy's new generation, new breed. Kind of like the guy I did the Dirty Shirley record with.
Oh right, Dino.
Dino, yeah.
Great
it's kind
singer
of
as well,
in
yeah.
that world, yeah.
So
I actually prefer him to Dino.
So
This guy's amazing.
So Jeff is still in End Machine.
Yeah,
so it's you and Jeff Pilson
and Steve Brown, Mick Brown's brother.
Who's also playing in Tesla now.
Right.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Right,
All right. Because Mick was originally in it on the first record,
right.
and then you sent him into retirement. The End Machine ended ended Mick wanting to play.
I'm sorry. And then I've got an instrumental record coming out in June called Guitars at the End of the World.
And that's all done.
Yeah, it's been done they should have put it out last year.
The last
actually.
one was phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. Well, this
I love
one
the
is
last one.
in the vein of that. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So what did I miss? So Sweet Lynch Mob,
Dirty Shirley or no?
No,
Okay.
Ultraphonics.
Ultraphonics.
Because of all the lawsuits and stuff, I can't touch that. The End Machine,
The Banishment.
The Banishment. Oh, Heavy Hitters, 3 or
Which
2.
is what's Heavy Hitters? I
Heavy
don't know
Hitters
that.
is on Cleopatra, and it's Jeff Pilson and I doing covers from like R&B covers and stuff that we rock up and all this. And this one was with the singer from the Rolling Stones.
Oh, well, I can't.
That guy starts
can't
with an
think
M.
I forget names.
His last
dude.
name. His last name's with a J. That's why
Yeah,
you can't remember.
No, not that guy. The other singer,
Which
Bernard Fowler. Who'd you think I was talking about?
You sing
That's
from
what
the
I
Rolling
thought.
Stones.
Yeah, but Bernard Fowler. Who were you talking
Mick
about?
Jagger. We thought we were.
No, not that
Well,
guy.
we thought
No,
you were
the black
goofing
guy.
around.
The black guy.
Oh,
I'm not
all right.
good-
Bernard Fowler. We thought you were messing
the
around.
good singer.
Oh God.
Ouch.
That goes on the
No,
headlines
but it's
tomorrow.
Bernard Fowler, and it's fucking really cool, fun record. So that's coming out this
And
year.
KXM, you want to make a record with, but it's
Yeah.
not done yet. There will be
No,
another one. You
but,
think?
I mean, it'd take us 2 weeks.
Do you still practice?
Yeah.
Because I'm making all these records. I mean, you just like. I would think like. Are
It
you?
doesn't take that long to do them. I do them really fast.
Are you the guy that like is always on the guitar, sleeping with your guitar next
No.
to the bed? No.
No, I'm the guy that's out camping and chopping wood and fucking hiking and just road tripping and
So you
being
play.
Family Guy. I don't really. I'm
You
not a
play
musician.
guitar when-
my kids don't believe I'm a guitar player. They're like,
They never see
"Dad,"
it?
Like the one time, like one of my kids would go to a concert, they couldn't believe it was like, that's George. What the? Like they can't believe it. It's just crazy. But
they should
'cause
follow
I'm
you
not
on.
like at
They
home,
should
I'm
follow you on
just-
Patreon.
I mean, I'm a house cleaning nut. I just clean the house. I'm always doing projects. I'm building. I'm fucking.
Really? Are you a clean
fixing
freak?
shit. Yeah, and I'm just fixing shit and trying to build shit all the time, and that kind of stuff. An outdoor guy and stuff. So I don't really play guitar unless I kind of need to. But I make sure that it's my job, so I got to make sure I have a responsibility to it because it supports my family and it's my craft, and people depend on me, and I'm fans and everything. So I can't be that lazy asshole that doesn't play. And plus, I'm not rich, so I'm still got that fire burns in my belly, so I fucking work really hard.
How do you feel you've changed as a guitar player since when you were a kid?
In some ways, in a million ways, in some ways, not at all. Where I've kind of noticed when I listen to my old stuff, I go, shit, I'm going to come full circle. Or there's that common thread that goes through the whole thing. And I think all the changes I've gone through just keep it interesting for me, but they don't really fundamentally matter. So
When you listen to Mr. Scary, what do you think as a player?
oh, yeah.
You don't like it?
No.
Really?
No. I'm
Well,
just like,
one of George's most iconic pieces, the Dokken instrumental "Mr. Scary," and that's
well,
like,
for at its time, it was cool, I thought, I guess. But now, in retrospect, in hindsight, I was just kind of like, there's a lot of effects and a lot of saying nothing. But I guess it's kind of cool. It sounds kind of frenetic and frantic to me. And now I'm more into more organic music and older music and stuff,
yeah,
We all
yeah.
go back to the music of our youth when we get older. So I'm just listening to 60s and 70s shit and R&B and blues. And I listen to that and I go, oh, it's kind of cheesy, but we were younger, and that's what we did back then, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's cool, you know.
And you, for people that don't know, and it was controversial at the time for reasons unknown, because I always said if you don't like it, don't buy it. But speaking of revising something, you did a re-record of Wicked Sensation a few years ago that you did a completely different take on.
I did a re-record or remaking of Mr. Scary too.
Did you put that out?
Yeah.
On what? Just online, or is it on a record?
It was on a record.
I never heard that.
Nobody did. Nobody cares.
But there was blowback that you went in and redid Wicked Sensation, just a different take on
From
it. Which
who?
fans, you told me that yourself. You're like, we were getting killed. Well, you did at the time. She's like, we're getting killed on this.
Yeah,
and I'm like, who cares? I said, who cares? Because I'm like, just don't buy it then. But I thought that was a cool, different take on the record because you didn't replace the other record. It's not like you made the original version unavailable. You just did a different coat of paint.
I should have sued myself. I could have won and lost at the same time. What a ridiculous thing to complain about.
Right, I agree. Yeah.
Oh, he did a song that he wrote 30 years ago different, fucker. Why would he do something horrible like that?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. It's not like I fucking killed somebody and ate him. I mean, I just fucking redid a song.
Right.
So what about Mr. Scary? You said maybe back then it wasn't the best you could do. When you redid it,
Nobody cared.
no, but did you do it better?
I thought so.
Oh, okay. But
I thought by leaps and bounds, but people listen to it and just like, meh.
Is at its core, was it the same song, the same sound? You just change effects, or did you go for a totally
it's kind of
different
a
thing?
reinterpretation. Like, it's not the same. No, it wasn't the same. It's kind of the same idea.
Right.
Yeah.
What's it called? Is it
I
still
don't
called? Is it
remember.
Mr.
That's how
Scarier?
memorable it is. It starts with J, I think.
All right, man. Listen, I'll let
Yeah.
you go. I appreciate you coming in, and I'm
Yeah,
going to
thank
see you on Wednesday in Vegas. We should mention this.
Oh,
do you know
yeah.
you're doing that?
Is that open to the public? It's a
Yeah, it
corporate,
is.
corporate thing.
No, totally open to the public. They're pushing tickets.
Okay.
Yeah, this Wednesday, myself, I'll be hosting this.
Nice.
Our buddy Jeff Blando and his band Music Mob, which
Stephen Piercy.
great cover band. The guests are yourself, George Lynch.
I'm in the
Piercy.
Music Mob. That's why it's called Music Mob. like Lynch
You're
Mob.
officially a part of the Music Mob? I thought that was
That's-
Blando and the two other
No,
guys.
me and him started that.
Oh.
Yeah, we trademarked that together.
All right. So George Blando, who's playing drums? Will Hunt on drums.
From Evanescence.
And who's playing bass?
Paul Drennan.
Paul Drennan. So there's a Music Mob.
38 Special.
Is he Paul playing in 38 Special?
He was. Not
Oh, because they're playing tonight. And Piercy's going to get up and do some songs.
Yeah. And,
Danny Coker's going to get up and do some
yeah.
songs.
Yeah. Counting Cars.
And Jesse, James Dupree from Jackal.
Yeah.
He's going to get up and do some songs.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to have the chainsaw. I think it's chainsaw because of there's like
Can he
some
travel with
rules. No, so he has to get one of those leaf blowers.
he's got a leaf blower this time.
Well, the one with the big pack on the back, you know, and the headphones.
Yeah, it's safer.
Jesse needs to put the chainsaw on his rider so it's there already when he gets to the gig.
If there's one city you could do a chainsaw in, it's Vegas.
Exactly, right, exactly.
You could juggle chainsaws in Vegas.
What?
That's what he does.
Puts it on his rider?
In the rider,
The chainsaw?
Yeah.
Oh.
So a runner has to go to Home Depot
Exactly.
for every show.
Some 2-in-1 oil and whatever you need. So anyway, that's this Wednesday at Vamped in Vegas. It is open to the public. Tickets are like only $10. It's going to be a great jam. Obviously, great musicians, and Blando and Lynch alone up there on that stage are just awesome. Jeff, you know the thing about Blando, and he's playing here today because Slaughter's playing. The thing about Blando that always blows me away is his singing.
Yeah, I was
his
just gonna say
voice
that.
is unbelievable.
He's the greatest singer in rock. I mean, he's just like insane. It's just like, how'd that big voice come out of you? That's freaking ridiculous. You should be
In Lynch Mob.
be in every band.
He should be Lynch Mob.
He will be next
well,
week, probably.
we always want to play together, but yeah, it's just, you know.
You hear Jeff sing something like "Still of the Night" or a Zeppelin song
Oh,
or
it's
something.
stupid.
This little guy with this massive voice. I love his guitar playing too, but I mean, I said to him many times, "Dude, you could just be the singer, man. It's just amazing
Yeah.
the pipes on that."
He's one of
guy.
those Swiss Army knife guys, too. He does
Yeah.
everything. He's the engineer, he's the roadie, he's the mixer, he plays every instrument, he writes, he sings, I mean, you name it.
And he used to live in
Promoter.
Vegas. He put the sound system in Vamped. So there you go.
He probably built the road that goes there. You know, I mean, he's just like insane.
Put the toilets in this joint.
Exactly. Listen, man, great to
All
see
right.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming by, George
Don.
Lynch,
Good to see you,
everybody.
George.
I hope you had kept a scorecard of the multiple projects he has coming up. We'll tell you about them as they each start to roll out.